Hey everyone, thank you for joining us today. I'm here with Brian Morrison, who is a senior developer educator at Clerk. Thank you for joining with us, Brian.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Dave. Excited to be here.
You bet. Now, you and I met at that conference, and I'm looking forward to talking about that and about networking and all those things. But I'd like to start off with a lighthearted question. And I haven't been to Kentucky myself. I'm from Kansas, just outside of Kansas City. But I want to ask, if I visit Kentucky, what's the one food I should eat? And don't tell me you're going to say KFC.
Well, out here we just call it fried chicken, so there's that. I'm going to be entirely honest. I don't know that I have a fantastic answer to that question, only because I have not been living in Kentucky for very long, and to be honest, I'm not going to be living here much longer either. However, I will default to Chicago, which is where I'm from, and a solid pizza is never a bad thing to go for.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, hey, I'm going with my wife to Chicago at the end of June. And so any recommendations there? We're going to be like, downtown by Michigan Avenue. We're going to a concert at the House of Blues.
Okay. If you're looking for something that is a little more widespread, Lou Malnati's is somewhere you can't go wrong with. They have a great deep dish pizza. And if you're looking for something kind of off the beaten path and want to try something unique, there is a place there are two locations in Plainfield and Naperville called Freedom Brothers that have homemade artisan pizzas that are all themed around rock bands. And they're hands down the best pizza I've ever had. So if you can handle the trip and go to one of their locations, highly recommend it.
Hey, I appreciate the recommendation. And yeah, I like all things rock music, so that fits. That's great.
Yeah.
So let's talk about now, of course, recommendations from friends and everything else. Let's talk about how important networking is in the tech community and for getting a tech job, really. Now, you and I met at that conference. I'll lean back here so everyone can see the shirt. I've got the that conference shirt on. So thank you, Clark. And that conference is coming up later this summer in Wisconsin as well. We met at the one in Austin, Texas. There's 2 per year. He puts on a great conference. And are you going to the one in Wisconsin?
I am. I will actually be speaking there on the second day, I believe, later in the afternoon. So
awesome. I was going to wait till later to ask you where all you'll be speaking, but glad to hear that one now. I unfortunately can't make that one later. I play in a rock band, and my schedule is on the weekends is sometimes tied up months in advance. But that's just a personal hobby that I enjoy doing besides writing code. But yes, I'll look forward to seeing some video from that because I really enjoyed attending the conference in Austin. So getting back to the question about networking now, shortly after we met at that conference, you were working at Planet Scale in developer advocacy, and they announced big layoffs, and you were part of that layoff. And then I kind of watched you document your journey as you ended up at Clerk as a senior developer educator. You want to talk a little bit about that and the importance of networking and maybe how it helped you out?
Yeah, networking was critical to me landing on my feet as quickly as I did. I think I like to use I like to use 30 hours as being the time frame in which I was unemployed. I think it might have been a little more or less than that, but it's close enough to be a nice round number. But I had worked with some individuals at Clerk on a project and a collaboration with Planet Scale. And when they saw that I was, going to be looking for my next role, they reached out right away. And before I knew it, I was made an offer the next day, which was fantastic. But there's something that actually Clark had said at that conference this past Texas is that the code's just the medium and it's the people behind the code that really matter. And this is a direct kind of correlation to that statement, right? Because I had worked with people and I had kept up those relationships, even though I wasn't actively looking for a position. I kept in touch with various people throughout the industry, basically with the expectation of I want to help out and I want to contribute back. I'm a self-taught developer, so I like to give back to the community, to be the resource that I didn't have when I was learning how to code. And you meet the right people, and you meet people who are just as good as you are. And before you know it, doors open, and that's kind of the wonderful thing. And I think what's amazing about it too is it's not kind of a tit for tat kind of a thing where you give back with the expectation of receiving something. It just kind of happens. So if you put yourself out there and you're just a good-hearted person to other people in the community, it'll eventually come back to help you when you actually need it. So yeah, it helped tremendously.
That's an awesome story. And 30 hours. Now, I always emphasize the importance of networking, but that helped you turn that around quickly. That's very nice.
Yep.
Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying the video. You may be surprised to learn that 3 out of every 4 viewers, nearly 75% of all people who watch my channel, aren't subscribed. So I just wanted to take a quick second and remind you to hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out. And if you really like my videos, you can get exclusive content and support my channel even more by joining my Patreon at patreon.com/DaveGray. Thanks for your consideration, and now back to the video. Okay, moving on, let's talk about tech in the year 2024 now. And what tech has you excited? Or if you were creating a project, your current tech stack that you would use in this current year in the JavaScript ecosystem?
So I'm playing catch up. I'll start there because I really started getting into software development back in like kind of the late 2000s era when Ajax was like the big thing. And when I found out that like, hey, I can run a serverless application using React and whatever backend API system that I can, I really stuck to that. I never really bought into the whole combined frameworks like Next, where you have your front end and your back end kind of all merged together. Because before the separated front ends and back ends, that's how we did it, right? So the new paradigm, I really liked it and I wanted to stick with it, and I held out for a long time. I guess you could say I was a little bit of a tech curmudgeon from that perspective. But yeah, as far as excitement, with moving over to Clerk, we lean a lot into the Next ecosystem. So I am learning Next now, and I'm trying to figure out the ins and outs of Next, working with deploying to Vercel and trying to figure out that platform. I've traditionally only deployed to AWS if I need to build something myself, or Netlify just because I'm familiar with it. But it was basically just because of an ease of use and familiarity. So those are kind of the big things that I'm focusing on picking up and learning right now. I actually just kicked off a project where I'm trying to build an AI recipe generator that's going to be a completely open source project. It's really just for fun. So I'm starting to look into the OpenAI API as well. Yeah, a lot of new and interesting things that I have not really had the opportunity to dive into that are starting to open up for me. So I'm just excited to catch up, I guess.
All good. Hey, I've been creating some content here just recently around the Vercel AI SDK, and I was curious, I also work with Python. Now, when you mention AI, are you sticking to the JavaScript ecosystem, or are you working with Python?
I'm sticking solely to the JavaScript ecosystem. I have professionally done .NET, Go, and JavaScript. I have never written much in Python beyond some simple scripts just to like get some things done that I need to. And I don't really have I'm not at a point where I'm very interested in taking on an entire I'm not very interested at taking on an entire new language at this point in time. So I'm just trying to, so I'm sticking with JavaScript. I might explore LangChain. I've dipped my toe into LangChain a little bit in a side project with Go. There's a Go adapter for it, but I've never done it with JavaScript. So that's another thing I'm excited to kind of play with and use.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I learned it on the Python side, but now moving over to the Vercel AI SDK and exploring that as well. I had to create a LangChain customer service chatbot last year with my company, and learned a lot about it along the way. So yes, looking forward to hearing more about that as you progress with it as well. Okay, now let's talk about Clerk and your new job, and just tell us a little bit about Clerk for those that aren't familiar.
So Clerk is a user management platform with the idea of you have an SDK that provides a bunch of React components. They support other languages and frameworks as well, but again, Next and React are kind of like the big ecosystems that we target. And in as little as a couple of minutes, you sign up for an account, you create an application, you drop in some components, and you have user auth rolled into your application. It's pretty incredible how well designed the SDKs are. And I say this as a fan of the service, not even just as an employee, because I was using Clerk before I even joined the company, which was another reason when they reached out and they're like, hey, we want to talk about you coming on board. I was like, yes, please, let's talk. But yeah, that's kind of it in a nutshell. We also support organizations as well. So if you want to create multi-tenant apps where you have these separate silos of groups of people who are accessing parts of your application, that's a supported thing. And we're slowly starting to branch out into different integrations with the entire goal of supporting builders, making their lives easier. I mean, I'm really old school where I like to know under the hood how things work, right? I've gone really deep into some certain topics, none that I really could get into on this chat, but a lot of it's unnecessary, and especially when you're building a SaaS and building a project, you want to have as much ammo in your pocket as I guess you possibly can, and Clerk does an excellent job of doing the user side of things.
Hey, thanks for letting us know about that. We'll definitely have to check it out. So we'll put a link to that, and I also want to put a link to everywhere the viewers can find you on the web as well. So do you want to tell us where all we can find you?
Yeah, so on X or Twitter, regardless of what you call it, Brian Dev there. I'm also Brian Dev on YouTube. I've recently started contributing more to my YouTube channel, so expect to see more stuff from me there. And then I also blog on my website, brianmorrison.me, and you could find me pretty much on almost any platform as Brian Dev. I've lucked out with being able to secure that handle everywhere.
It's nice to have the same one. I've ran into some problems, as there's a famous singer, David Gray, from England or Scotland, somewhere over, maybe Ireland, somewhere over there in the UK. So he's had my name, and I've had to have a few different ones myself. But I'll make sure all of those links are in the description. And I want to thank you for your time, but also this isn't entirely the end of the interview. For those of you that have been following my channel, you know on Patreon I post some exclusive content. Brian's going to answer a couple of more questions on my Patreon channel as exclusive content. So thank you, Brian. I appreciate you joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Hey guys, giving a quick shout out to my patrons. Holy Coder is a progress provider, and Eldad is a member at the senior level. Also, thank you to all of the junior members. You're all helping me reach my goals. And if you haven't checked out my Patreon, it's got exclusive content and early release content. And it's not one of those Patreons that doesn't get many posts. I'm active on there every week, so please check it out if you haven't. Remember to keep striving for progress over perfection. And a little progress every day will go a very long way. Please give this video a like if it's helped you. And thank you for watching and subscribing. You're helping my channel grow. Have a great day, and let's write more code together very soon.